I've had the 16 Pro Max as my main device for the past year, and I want to give my final update on wear and tear, battery health, charging habits, my overall experience, and what I'm most looking forward to when it comes to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Hey everyone, it's Andrew, and welcome back to the channel. Let's get right into it with wear and tear. The titanium frame has held up really well. I didn't use a screen protector, so you can actually see scratches on the screen. They're not all over the place, but I did drop it a few times, and my 3-year-old son has thrown it a few times. That's just the life of a dad now. And Ceramic Shield has held up pretty great as well. I think when I get the first scratch, I'm pretty upset, but after that, I kind of move on from it. I didn't always use a dedicated case, so there's a scratch on the back as well. It's kind of only visible in certain light. I didn't even realize it until someone pointed it out on Twitter, and unfortunately, I just scratched it. I don't know how or when, but I did it. If you do want to know my favorite case overall, I would say the Andar Aspen case was probably my favorite. Just this beautiful leather case that they sent me was pretty perfect, and I really enjoyed using it. Another case that I really enjoy using is the clear case made by Apple. Now, I didn't use Apple Care at all. I know it's risky, but it is a little bit pricey. Typically, I keep my phone pretty protected, so I didn't elect to get Apple Care. In terms of durability, the phone handled a lot of situations very well, and after a year, I still love the titanium design. I'm really glad I got this color instead of the desert titanium. I don't think that one aged as well as everybody thought. Natural titanium's perfect, and just the overall design of titanium is just beautiful. I think it's a really premium looking device. It's great in hand. I just can't believe how thin the bezels are on this phone. Like, we're a couple generations away from having a bezel-less phone, which is just kind of wild to think about. Now, as far as camera control, I actually used it quite a bit. I found it really useful for taking photos, and so I would just have my phone in my pocket, and as I'm pulling it out, I would already be clicking camera control to have my camera ready. I actually found it very useful, and I use it a lot. Face ID remains fast and reliable. Haptics are excellent on this device as well, even after a year. The always-on display is one of my low-key favorite features on this phone, and overall the display is just a joy to use. And overall, my experience with the device has been really pleasant. My favorite part of using it is definitely the camera. I love taking photos in RAW. I also use this as my dedicated camera for my YouTube, unless I'm, of course, recording the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So in those events, I use the iPhone 16. My daily use is fairly simple. I use it for social media and iOS apps. So for social media, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, posting, scrolling. I have TikTok as a platform that I kind of post content, as well as Threads, but I'm not on those nearly as much as the other three. And I love watching content on Apple TV as well, and just catching up on podcasts, listening to Apple Music. So I use my phone pretty much like everyone else. Outside of using CapCut for editing short videos when I create content, it takes those 4K videos pretty well. You know, the videos are only 60 seconds long or so, and it performs very excellent. I like to stay organized with calendar, reminders, notes, and mail. So I use all of the stock iOS apps. They perform great for me, and I use a lot of different Apple ecosystem devices, and it just carries over really well. I don't just use iMessage, but I also use apps like WhatsApp, GroupMe. I also have a Telegram channel as well, and so I do use those apps, and they all perform great. Third-party apps are fine on this phone. If you're big into AI and use Grok or ChatGPT, those are excellent as well. My performance experience is kind of divided. So I use iOS 18, and then when WWDC happened, I started using iOS 26 beta. And so when it comes to iOS 18, it was great. I never had any issues or bugs or anything like that. And with iOS 26, while there was bugs, some heating, and some performance lags, especially in battery life, I absolutely love using iOS 26, and I don't think I could ever go back to something like iOS 18. I think it's more refined, it's more futuristic, it's more enjoyable as a user to experience and use. I'm imagining once we get the release candidate, it'll be buttery smooth, and really with iOS 18, it was great all year as well. Now, as far as battery life goes, you now know my use cases and what it's been like. And again, my experience has been divided. iOS 18, the battery life was not superb. I would say I had better battery life on my S25 Ultra or the S23 Ultra, but it's the best battery life I've had on an iPhone. I would get somewhere between 7 to 8 hours of on-screen screen time back then, I would say that's pretty good, and it would get me to the end of the day with like 30 to 25% battery. Now, iOS 26 beta has been pretty terrible overall, and it's still not great for me. I'm getting anywhere between 5 and 6, so it dropped significantly, I would say. I'm not too pleased about that, but that's the life of being a beta tester. So I can't really fault Apple in that category, that's on me. So one of the main reasons why you probably clicked on this video is to check out my battery health. And after a year, my battery health is still at 100% despite running beta. So I have a cycle count of 272. It's almost at charging every single night. But this is new for me. Every iPhone I've had, at least since this feature has turned on, has always been less than 100 before the end of the year, and I'm actually really surprised. So going through my charging habits, so currently I have this ESR MagSafe charger, which is really great. I just got it though, I didn't really use it all year. And I do have one that I use more from Anker that was a pretty good charger as well. I did find myself using USB-C a lot more. It just charges a lot faster. During beta testing, there were some days where I needed to charge more, so I'd have to charge middle of the day, which is okay. I didn't do that often, and I tried to avoid that as much as possible. I'm thankful my battery health is still at 100%. It's never happened to me before, which is really cool. There were some moments where I would be reviewing another phone, like the iPhone 16, the iPhone 16e, or even my S25 Ultra. But in this case, I was still using my iPhone 16 Pro Max to record, and I was still using my battery. So I don't think that really determined too much of it. Maybe it preserved it a little bit more. So that's how I kept my battery health at 100%. But I think at this point, it's kind of hit or miss. For storage, I have 256 gigabytes of storage, but I use iCloud storage, so I get the 2 terabyte option with the Apple One plan. I would say 256 gigabytes is pretty good. I didn't really ever have to worry about storage, so I would stick to that if you are thinking about buying this phone, or even with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I think that's a pretty good amount of storage. The speakers are still excellent even after a year. I listen to it in my car or in the shower, and I don't always want headphones in, so these are great speakers. Connectivity is also great as well. Bluetooth connects really quick with my AirPods. No connection issues as well. Now for me, I upgraded from the 15 Pro Max, and is it really that much of a difference? No. And do I regret upgrading? I would say it's something I just like to do, so I never really have regrets like that. I would say there's just not enough major differences to upgrade to the 16 Pro Max. It's really not much of a difference in terms of experience. Now, looking ahead, I'll definitely be getting the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but as a tech reviewer and someone that likes to upgrade their phone every year, I know this is not normal, but what I'm looking most forward to is the camera redesign. I also want to see dual video come, so that'll be kind of cool for vlogging. I also want to see a larger battery, and I really hope we get that anti-glare screen that the S25 Ultra has. So would I recommend the iPhone 16 Pro Max in 2025? Of course, it's the best flagship Apple has to offer. Unless you're an Android user, this is going to be the phone to get. And with the iPhone 17 Pro Max coming out in a couple weeks, this is going to be a lot cheaper that you can find on secondhand. I recommend an app called Swappa. They have really good deals and it's more trusted. I've sold on there before as well, and I really like that platform, so maybe check out phones there. But I've been very pleased with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, no complaints. Even happier that my battery health is at 100%. It's pretty cool. If you have the 16 Pro Max, let us know in the comments below what your experience has been like. I actually have the Pixel 10 Pro XL coming tomorrow, as well as when the iPhone 17 launches, I'll be getting as many iPhones as I can get. So make sure to subscribe for that. As always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next video.